Hello, 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 hello there. Round two of apples from the farmer's market. Yeah, they were so delicious and we finished them all. So I had to go on back to the farmer's market in Roslindale Village in Boston. While there, I discovered something very sweet and delicious. I was so glad that I went back because there was so much more to taste and see and experience. So come with me as we go back to the market. Hello, hello, and welcome to Catherine's Garden. It's so good to be with you here today. I revisited the Roslindale Village Farmers Market and I went and I got myself some more apples because the last batch of apples that I brought home got devoured by my family. My husband and my daughter, they ate the apples. Of course, I'm guilty of eating them too. My first trip to the local farmers market was full of fun, and I enjoyed scouting around and looking for apples. I also discovered a lot of interesting people and also learned about urban farming. So I'm going to get some of these apples to make a good pie with it.
Yeah.
You said that this is a good one too.
Okay, what is it? It's a. Oh, okay. It's out on Rhode Island.
Hear about farming and gardening and all these good things, and just talking about real food, local food. I hope all is well with you. I've decided to come out into the garden and have a cup of tea and just reflect on what I did and what I would like to do with these apples. Yeah, I went to the farmer's market on Saturday to pick up some apples and I wanted to make an apple pie. I just had this longing for an apple pie. So I decided, well, let me go to the farmer's market and get some apples. I'm going to go to the farmer's market to see if they have any apples there because I'm really interested in getting apples because I like to make apple pie. My daughter Karen and I, we went to the apple orchards and we did get a lot of apples. However, we ate them all. Yes, those apples were so delicious. They were sweet and tasty and crunchy. You know when you bite into a fresh picked apple, how it has that crunch? Well, we ate all of those apples. My husband enjoyed the apples. Delicious. My first time visiting the apple orchard in Stowe was just a wonderful time. Honeypot Hill Orchards, and also visiting the farm store. I was able to get a lot of apples, and we also bought honey and apple cider and had a great time walking through the farmhouse and the apple orchards. I'm here at the orchard and looking at the preserves, the different butters and things that they have here. And it's really interesting.
Oh, say cheese. Look at the camera. Wait it. Oh, there you go. Oh, you can reach it. Woo!
My first apple.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Here's another one. Karen says they're Cortland apples. These aren't Empire. This has a little bruise on it.
I'm surprised you didn't say, oh crap, she just
Yes.
dropped it.
So I'm going to eat this apple. Look at that. I polished it here. And I'm going to bite into it. Delicious. Oh my goodness. This is fantastic.
Fresh from the tree. Natural.
Not even apple.
For 2019, Karen and I went apple picking again together, and we really enjoyed picking and eating all of the different apples, and they finished them. But I didn't make that apple pie, so I decided, let me go to the farmer's market, and there I can get some apples and make my apple pie. Excuse the plane. I'm not too far from Logan Airport. Yeah, and so the planes must be, I don't know. But anyway, so I went to the farmer's market in Roslindale, the Roslindale Village Farmer's Market. It was a beautiful day. The leaves were just, you could see them, the changing of the leaves, the foliage, just such a beautiful color. And it was just a wonderful drive to the farmer's market. Oh, the market was already in action. You could hear the music. And there I walked through.
If I can, and I come back out, you're a richer man. Well, I don't know just why I'm driven, but I've got this song to sing. Got to get out on the road and get everything.
Everyone should go.
Well, when I got there, I was walking through and I came across this program. That's the Victory Program, Revisioning Urban Farm in Dorchester. Urban Farm. Victory Programs, Revision Urban Farm, Real Food, Real Local. Well, this is good.
Yeah, in Dorchester. We're on Fabian Street, on the Mattapan side of Dorchester.
Is that with the That's not with the farm, right? The
Yeah.
Clark Farm?
No.
No.
Nope, we're part of Victory Programs. So Victory Programs is an organization that has numerous shelters and different types of programs throughout the city. So our farm is connected to 2 shelters right on Fabian Street across from the farm.
Here at that booth, I was able to speak with Todd, and he was able to tell me more about the program. It was really good to hear how farming is being used to help the vulnerable and those who are experiencing difficulty right now with housing and homelessness. So I'm here with Todd at the Farmers Market in Roslindale, and he is part of the Victory programs for urban gardening. And as you know, I'm an urban gardener, and he is telling me about his special program that helps people.
Yep,
Tell me a little bit about it. Yeah.
Revision Urban Farm is been there for 25 years. It's in Dorchester. We are connected to 2 shelters, and originally the plot was designed to really produce for the people in the shelter, and it's grown since then. We're just about under an acre with 2 different production areas. We have a full heated greenhouse that will actually this year go into year-round production as well. So
That's nice. So the heated production, that means that you're going to do microgreens?
yeah, so we'll be doing
Oh.
greens this year.
Uh-huh.
The greenhouse was actually put in 2013 with help from the mayor's office, and this year we were able to get a second heating unit put into that, and so now it'll actually go into year-round production.
Wow, that is exciting. So that urban people who live in the city
Yep.
can now get fresh produce.
Yeah, so we really
Yeah.
focus on the ability to get healthy access to food and nutrition density, and that what we're picking today is eaten today or within the next couple days.
Yeah, that's true. Because I think they say that after the first 10 minutes or so that it starts to deteriorate.
and
Real
being-
food, real food.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
living in Boston, we are literally at the end of the train tracks.
Really?
Yeah, so everything that comes into Boston is the oldest of the old. So you think about
Wow.
it, if it comes up from Florida, last stop is Boston. If it comes from California, last stop is Boston.
I never thought about
Yeah.
that. So my garden is a good thing.
It totally is a good thing. Yep.
I've been growing tomatoes and peppers.
Yep.
I just did watermelon.
Yeah.
Ooh, my watermelon was
Full
delicious.
size? What did you do?
The sugar
little
babies.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was so delicious. I had like 5 or 6 of them, and I just did right in my front yard.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then I'm trying okra.
Yeah. I'm not a huge okra fan, to be honest
Yes,
with you.
I know. But that's really good. I mean, and I think that this is a good thing that we need to start urban gardening. And remember it says Victory programs.
Yep.
So in the past, when they had the war and so forth,
exactly.
the people had their gardens.
Yeah.
And then I know in the South, a lot of Southerners, when they come up, I'm not from the South, but they come up, they've had gardens. Because we could see the collard green. There's this lady on American Legion Highway, and she sells these little starts.
Yep.
And I see a whole lot of like people from the South getting their collard greens and so forth. So this
Yeah.
year I decided I will buy kale.
Yep.
So I've been eating my fresh kale, and it's really been good in smoothies.
So
But just go ahead.
So you're gonna have to come out to our farm. You're definitely gonna have to come to our farm and check out the place. We do a huge seedling sale. We provide seedlings to not only just the immediate area around Dorchester, but several other urban farms in the area that just can't produce their seedlings because we have the greenhouse space. We're able to add that value to the community.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. I'm going to have to connect with you and connect with the program,
Yeah.
and then anyone in the city can go. And see
Yeah,
and
so
check.
the farm's starting to slow down now. We're here at the Roslindale Market every week, but then usually like the end of October, we're pretty much wrapping up on our regular season. Being a first season going into the winter, we'll see what that brings for us. Hopefully a couple of restaurant sales and some regular, maybe a winter CSA for greens.
Wow. That is exciting. That is exciting. Well, thank you so much
Not a
for
problem.
speaking with me about this. I think
Thanks.
that this is what we need to do here in the city.
Totally is.
We really need to get into gardening and also teaching our children about gardening and having it become like a family event, you know, in the household so that they can start to eat healthy. And when you just told me that we're the last stop for fresh greens. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
So we've been eating all the leftovers.
Leftovers aren't bad if we're talking about like turkey dinner and stuff like that, but when it comes to produce, fresh is better.
Fresh is better. Yes, fresh is better. Fresh is better. All right, anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm going to check this out.
Yep.
All right, thanks. So it was good to see how they are working with people and helping them to use the farm and farming to restore their joy. Isn't it a wonderful thing? I think that's a great thing. And then I was able to pick up these Northern Spry apples and also the Suncrisp apples. And they have been so tasty and so delicious and fresh.
What kind do you like?
Huh? Oh, Baldwin's. There's some Baldwin's on the Yeah, but I already bought a bag of Baldwin's Spy, so I'm going to buy the Baldwin's if I see them.
My apples, that's right, these apples. And you know what? They're almost finished. I only have a few left, but I wanted to share it with you. So I'm going to get some of these apples to make a good pie with it.
Yeah.
You said that this is a good one too.
Okay, what is it? It's a...
Oh, okay. I thought on Rhode Island you don't have readings.
What are these?
Right.
Northern Spy.
Northern Spy. Those are good for pie.
Good for pies.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And what was this one right here?
That's a Suncrisp.
Ooh, that looks good. That
I
looks
think that's
Those
a
are good for
That's a
eating.
good for eating one. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some of that.
Another one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, about 0.48.
I love it.
That all? So 160.
How are you?
That my family, they've just eaten all of the apples. So now I don't really have any apples for apple pie. However, I can always go back next Saturday and visit the farmer's market and finally make that apple pie.
Ooh, sweet darling, hold me just once before I go. Love me today, 'cause tomorrow I'm gonna be gone.
It was just a wonderful visit, and I really enjoyed just seeing all of the crafts and all of the different music, hearing the music and the crafts, and just watching the people walking by and all of that good stuff. It was just wonderful. A nice festive community atmosphere, and I like that setup. Hello. I just marshmallows, which are kind of the same thing. Hi. This is for my YouTube channel.
Alright, nice.
So this, you make this original?
Yeah.
Oh.
Everything we make in store, handmade, hand cut, hand dipped.
I mean, I don't know. I also visited the Lilac Hedge Farm, and there I saw the fresh eggs, but what really caught my eye was the honey. Yeah, because when I went to the apple orchard with Karen, I had bought the big container of honey, and you know what? That honey went by real fast too. The Lilac Hedge Farm, Holden, Mass. Oh, so these are free range chicken eggs.
Yep.
Oh, okay. You gathered them this morning?
Yeah, we go through them pretty quickly, so we have to stay on top of them.
And then the maple syrup is from your farm?
That's from a farm that we work with, so we sell their syrup for them, but they are in Fitchburg, so it's a couple towns over.
And the raw honey's from your farm?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so this is your product. All right. I want some honey. Because we started making a lot of tea and drinking our what we call bush tea from the herbs in my yard with the mint, and it was just really, really delicious. That fresh honey, raw honey from our area. So when I came across the Lilac Hedge Farms honey, I purchased it, and it was just so good to get that fresh raw honey. They say that honey is good for the digestive system, and that it's also good for any diseases that you're experiencing, for cuts and wounds, which I didn't know. But yeah, raw honey has many healing qualities, and so I'm so happy. I was just so happy to be able to actually get some at the farmer's market. I invite you to go if you have a chance, or before it closes down, to visit and to support our local farms. Yeah, they are able to give us fresh produce so that we can eat healthy, we can eat real food. Yes. I am thankful that you've decided to stop by and visit with me here. And do you have a garden for next year to plan an urban garden in your yard? If you have a plot of land, or if you just have containers like I have here. In my container I have beets and carrots growing, but you can do container gardening, or you can plant directly in the soil, the ground, or you can have a raised bed. But I encourage you to, try it. Plant something next year, yes, so that you can eat fresh, real food. It's good for you. You'll feel healthier and stronger. I have, and I'm really enjoying the herbs and the vegetables, the tomatoes and peppers. And at the urban farm, Revisioning Urban Farm, they sell seedlings. So you'll be able to go there and purchase seedlings from them. So plan on it and check them out. Because we ate all of the apples, I decided to make a second trip to the farmer's market, and there I just observed all of the beautiful produce and was just having a really great time, just looking and enjoying the atmosphere. It was such a nice day out in October in the city. Then I came across this booth and I saw the maple syrup, and I said, I want to try this out. Maple Syrup Farm, and he has a variety of different types of maple syrup, infused maple syrup. And so I'm going to ask him some questions about this. How long have you been in business?
So we started our own business in 2013.
So I'm here at the local farmers market for Rosendale. This is Rosendale Village Farmers Market, and it's here every Saturday for the season. And as you can hear, the singing and the music and everything and people. But I stopped by to check out the maple syrup, and I have here
Ian Ackerman.
Ian Ackerman.
My wife will be here next week. Might as well get it now. 60, yeah?
And Ian, he has a farm where he provides, or tell me what you do.
So we have 150 acres of land up in Vermont, and we have 10,000 maple trees. We tap maple trees and make maple syrup every spring.
Wow.
And then we bottle it and sell it all through Mass all summer. Mass and Florida in the winter.
Wow.
Yep.
So what made you want to do this? Is it part of a family farm?
I
or
grew up on a
heritage?
dairy farm, on my grandparents' dairy farm, and my neighbor over the hill had some maple trees, so we learned from them. And then my wife and I just kind of turned it into our own thing. So we started in 2013, bought a bunch of land and went for it.
Wow. So do you only do maple syrup, or do you...
So my wife does like the graphic design for this and other people too. And then I have a landscaping business too in the summer.
But this is
other
your
than that,
heart. This is what you really believe in.
It's our passion. Maple's our passion. Small farming.
Yes, yeah, and that's the big thing that I'm really pushing and I'm excited about is local farming.
Yep.
And the fact that we really need to support our local farms. So could you tell me a little bit about your maple syrup and how does it? I see that some are infused with coffee
so
and
we
so
do
forth.
we got the barrel aged ones. We age them in rum and bourbon whiskey and cinnamon whiskey. It's all these guys. And then we infuse them with coffee and cinnamon. We're always looking for alternative ways because we pretty much sell all the syrup we make. And you just have the same old traditional. It's hard to sell.
Yeah, so see, let's see. Yeah.
Can't really see it in there, but
Yeah,
it's coffee infused.
but it's coffee infused. And it tastes so delicious. I actually sampled it and it tastes so good. But then while we were waiting here, it seems like you have a following.
Yeah, we've been doing this down in Mass for like 6 years now, 5 or 6 years. So pretty much everybody knows what's going on. Yeah, we sell a lot of syrup down here.
While I was here, 2 women came by and bought jugs, gallons. The gallon, woo, of maple syrup.
Yep.
And what they do is they refrigerate it and bottle it and use it. And so I think this is a cult following.
Yeah, it is.
Maple.
Know your farmer, right?
Yes, know your farmer.
And support them.
Yes.
Deal.
My daughter loves this, and she's living on
People who are willing to take their passion and follow through with it. And then we, as consumers, if we support them and consume the maple syrup, we're healthier for it. They're more inspired by it, and
we can survive and do it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then so you came all the way from Vermont just to
every
share
week.
every week. So the farmers market's going to last until.
It goes till I think Thanksgiving here, but we get done. We do every other week at all our markets, so we're usually every other week, and then we actually stop next week is our last one for us because we get ready to go to Florida. We do 10 markets a week in Florida in December and January.
So thank you so much for sharing your time with me.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing this wonderful product here to us in Rosendale, Boston area. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. I want to thank Ian for the interview, and I want you to follow them on Facebook and on Instagram to keep up with the farm news, market schedules, promotions, and their family adventures. I bought the cinnamon infused maple syrup and I've been enjoying it in my coffee. And if you like this video, just like, share and subscribe. Comment down below and come on back to Catherine's Garden. Yes, also remember to hit the notification bell so that you'll be up to date with whatever new adventures in the garden that I'm going to be experiencing, because there will be new adventures and new things to come. So come back and join me, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me your time here on Catherine's Garden. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. My tree, look at that. No more leaves. At least probably by the next couple of days it will be totally bare and you'll just see the branches. But that's what it's all about. You gotta enjoy the garden while you can, because each day is a different blessing. Remember to like and subscribe. And I want you to know that you are growing, you are thriving, you are God's precious garden. Thank you for watching, and see you next time in Catherine's Garden. Bye. Remember to subscribe to Lady Wisdom Speaks Academy on YouTube. Be blessed.